Welcome back, all you beautiful people, right here to your Feel Good Breakfast Show on SABC3. Now, the Nal'ibali reading campaign has launched its latest project called the WhatsApp Storyline that provides free and good quality children's stories for families who have limited access to the internet. Now, they believe reading is an important part of how caregivers can keep their children engaged and learning at home, especially during this time when schools are closed. Now, Head of Communications at Nal'ibali, Ben Rycroft, joined us this morning to tell us a bit more about their latest offering. Good morning, Ben. Welcome to the show.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Okay, let's start right at the beginning. For those who don't know, can you tell us a bit more about the Nal'ibali reading campaign and what it's all about and when it all started for you guys?
Okay, well, as you say, Nal'ibali is a national Reading for Enjoyment campaign. It started in 2012. And mostly because it started out of a need for the lack of quality multilingual children's stories written in all South African languages. So, as you probably know, 78% of our grade 4 learners cannot read for meaning. So, it's no surprise that South Africa has a quite a bad literacy rate or illiteracy rate. And so we believe at Nal'ibali that children who read and who are read to, particularly in stories that they understand, will go on to want to become readers and who will go on to want to become, to be able to contribute better to society, get that good job, and basically to succeed in life. So what we do is we have a full team of multilingual writers and translators and editors and illustrators that put together bespoke, contextualized children's stories in all South African languages, because very little is created, very little is written in African languages other than English and Afrikaans, a little bit of Expresso, but so that's basically where we come in.
I love that. Now, in terms of your latest offering, obviously the WhatsApp Storyline, why specifically use a platform like WhatsApp to share the stories with?
Well, what happened was at the beginning of the COVID lockdown, we saw a massive increase to our digital platforms, so to our website, to our Mobi sites, to access our freely available content. And we not only do we have stories, but we also have a host of different guides and tips for reading in the home, reading and writing with children in the home, how to run a holiday club, and those types of things. So we realized that, and also being a parent myself, parents are expected to sort of fill that gap while children are spending time being homeschooled. And a lot of parents I think are quite worried in terms of how can they keep up that curve? How do they sort of maintain the children's learning? So we created this WhatsApp storyline because South Africa still struggles. We have a challenge with data and access to data and to connectivity. And WhatsApp is a globally, but it's a very well accepted platform. It's personalized, it's one-to-one, and it costs a fraction of what normal data charges are. So what we have is a very simple WhatsApp line. You simply just type the word stories to 0600 4422 54, and automatically a list will come up with a variety of stories in the choice of your language. And it couldn't be easier. So instead of having to go onto a website or to download something that takes a lot of data, in this case, we serve the story in a text format, which can be read very easily on a mobile phone. And the beauty of it is that we will be updating them regularly, and we'll be adding more languages as we go.
I love that it's so accessible for everybody and all caregivers and parents are able to access this. But take us through what kind of children's stories will be available, and again, just repeat which languages it will be available in.
So we've launched the storyline with stories in English, Afrikaans, isiXhosa, and isiZulu for now. And the stories are all aimed at the younger child. So I would say up to between the ages of, say, 4 and 11. And they're all contextualized stories. So we don't, our stories are not about, princesses and castles far away. Which a lot of South African children can't relate to. So our stories will all, they all have a local flavor, and they talk of contextually relevant scenarios. So, extended families, modes of transport, the situation in which we find ourselves, the social situations in South Africa. So it's very easy, much more easier for children to connect with our stories. But they're all they all involve family, and there's always a message in them. There's a lesson to be learned. So a typical children's story, but just more contextually relevant for South African.
Keeping them stimulated while still informing them. But now you guys are doing something called the 21-day story challenge. Take us through it and what that actually means.
This was really something that came about as a result of the COVID lockdown. We needed to respond to our networks to our audiences in such a way that didn't rely on a face-to-face intervention. So what this challenge was simply it was an online challenge, but what it really asked our network to do was to read 21 books or 21 stories, shall I say, in the 21-day lockdown. Of course, that was when the lockdown was initially only 21 days, so we did extend it until the end of April. But the point was we needed something to engage our parents with. We created a special grid that people could download from our website, which, simply you could put the name of the story or the book title that you read, and there will be a prize that we are in the process of drawing, like a random prize for all of those people that completed the full challenge. I think, as I said earlier, parents need help. And people need some guidance and something easy and seamless that they can do in the home without having to print something out or something cumbersome. So and we will be looking at doing more of those types of competitions as we go. Another thing that we're doing is we're doing live Facebook reads, so virtual reading clubs on our Facebook page, which happens twice a week. Please keep an eye on our Facebook page. It's Nal'ibali SA, and what we do is we have a variety of our field team and our trainers who are very, very animated men and ladies who tell stories in different languages, and we always do advertise what the name of the story is and the language that it'll be in, that it'll be published in. And those are open for anybody to come and join in and watch.
Amazing, Ben. Thank you so much for all your information, for all our caregivers and parents out there. And thank you so much for joining us this morning on your Feel Good Breakfast Show.
Thank you very much for having me.
That was Ben, Head of Communications at Nal'ibali. Now remember, by simply sending the word stories to Nal'ibali's WhatsApp number, which is 060-044-2254, families can access up to 10 different stories in your preferred language. Happy reading to all.